Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm going to take you guys to multiple locations across the country. You're going to see videos of objects in the daytime sky, and these things look totally out of place. Really cool videos you'll definitely want to stick around for. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, today's feature photo was sent in by Ann out of Edmonton, Alberta. That's the sun getting ready to set behind this thick canopy of wildfire smoke that's still persisting from the very strong wildfires up in Canada. And you can see the wildfire smoke today has dipped all the way down into Nebraska and Colorado. You can see Denver is looking at wildfire smoke today, and it still extends all the way over to the Atlantic Ocean and beyond. Huge wildfire situation still ongoing up in Canada. Quick look at the GOES X-ray flux. You can see yet another M-class solar flare. That's probably 10 now we've seen in the last 3 days. And here's why. The Earth-facing side of the sun is loaded with active regions and sunspots. And some of these active regions have what are known as beta, gamma, delta magnetics. In case you guys are wondering what that is, that's the moon exiting new moon phase right there. It's right where it's supposed to be. It entered on the 19th and the 20th, and that was when the moon was in new moon phase. And when the moon's in new moon phase, it's directly between the sun and the earth. So it was right where it was supposed to be. But I was looking at these active regions up here in the northeastern quadrant, and you're going to be able to see a better view of those active regions, courtesy of Scott out of Shelton, Connecticut. This video is from this morning, and this active region right here is the active region that's producing all the M-class solar flares. These active regions and sunspots contain what are known as beta, gamma, delta magnetics. When the opposite polarities touch each other from these sunspots, say a positive charged sunspot touches a negative charged sunspot, it creates a solar flare. So that's basically what's going on there, and that's why we're seeing so many solar flares, and most of these are Earth-directed as they're on the Earth-facing side of the sun. So look for the increase in solar activity to continue. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. A few small earthquakes over here in the northwestern quadrant, but other than that, pretty quiet at the supervolcano caldera. Wanted to show you guys real quick one of the first cyclones in the northern hemisphere. Hurricane season starts June 1st, and this one here is a little bit early. It's got an incredible satellite presentation. Look at the wingspan of that thing, well over 1,000 miles wide. It's supposed to increase to a Category 4. It quite possibly could reach Category 5 as it's going to enter very warm waters, but this definitely has the potential to become a high-end storm here in the next 48 to 72 hours. And something else that we're watching real close is this volcano right here. Popocatépetl is showing signs of activity, and it's not far from Mexico City. The alert level has been upgraded to a yellow phase 2. That's the 4th level. Mexico City's around 50 or 60 miles away, so I don't think it would be directly impacted by any lava or anything like that. But nevertheless, it could be in the path of ash and smoke if this thing does decide to erupt, and it is showing signs of increased activity. Here's a live view of the volcano. You really can't see too much of it because of all the smoke and clouds, but that's something that's showing signs of increased activity, more than likely from all this solar activity that we've been seeing here lately. That's created an increase in earthquakes, and we're also seeing an increase in volcanoes. Okay, now to the daytime videos. Here we go. We're going to start out here in Arizona. I've got two videos that are very similar, one from Arizona, one from Mississippi. This video was submitted by Anthony out of Scottsdale, Arizona from May 11th of 2023. He was watching the helicopter, and look what appears in the video. Watch over here off in the distance. You're going to see a white object come out of nowhere. Check this out. Okay, watch down in the lower right-hand corner of the video. You're going to see a white object appear right there. And it looks like the helicopter is going directly towards this white object. That doesn't appear to be a balloon. It doesn't appear to be another airplane. Looks way too big to be a drone. And not only that, it's bright white. So you can see once he noticed the white object, it appeared to be more interesting than the helicopter. So he started following this across the sky. It's moving slowly, horizontally across the sky. And he had no idea what this thing was. It just kind of appeared out of nowhere. So he kind of lost sight of it there over the roof line of the house. He switched locations to try to find this thing again, and right there it is, slowly and steadily moving across the sky. It's right up there above that tree. And here it is right here. It kind of got out of focus, and then here's a close-up view of the helicopter going towards this thing. Right there it is. I zoomed in as close as I could without it becoming too overly pixelated. right there it is, whatever it may be, and it was moving across the sky. Again, wasn't making any sound, didn't have any lights on it, and looked to be decent size. Wasn't huge, but it wasn't small either. It's difficult to tell from this distance, but it was an unusual white object in the daytime sky that appeared to have a propulsion system on it, and it wasn't making any noise. Now we're going to Mississippi. You're going to see the same basic thing. Pearl River, Mississippi. This goes back to November of 2022. Got the helicopter moving across the screen, and then there's a white object right up there. The original video on the right. Here I zoom in to get a closer look at this white object that has similarities to what Anthony saw in Scottsdale, Arizona. This too wasn't making any sound, no blinking lights. Looks like it's decent size. It's not tiny, let's put it that way, but it wasn't huge either. Maybe 3,000 or 4,000 feet off the ground. Almost looks like a white cylinder of some sort with no wings, no propeller, and again, no blinking lights. Just some sort of a mysterious white object that looked totally out of place. Didn't look like a helicopter or an airplane, and it's certainly not a bird. And here they are side by side, Arizona and Mississippi. Arizona being on the left, Mississippi on the right, and you can see they do have similarities. They both have helicopters in the field of view, and then a mysterious white object just appears out of nowhere, and they appear to be about the same size, and they weren't making any sound. So, unusual objects spotted in Arizona and Mississippi. Now I want to take you guys to Greensboro, Georgia. Video footage submitted by Quay and Gigi goes back to July 16th of 2022. You're going to see two identical objects in the sky drifting across the sky. They don't appear to be balloons, and they appear to be identical. They were focusing in on this one here in the front, and there's one way back here in the back. They're moving at about the same speed. They didn't appear to be making any noise. They had no flashing lights on them. And I don't think these are balloons, as you're going to see when I zoom in close on these objects that caught their attention. That's why they started filming the sky. They noticed these objects in the sky just kind of cruising into those clouds over there and disappearing. There's the first one that disappeared into the thick clouds. And I'm going to go back now to the second one that looks absolutely identical to the first one. They don't appear to be balloons. They're not shimmering. They appear to be under some sort of intelligent control. Don't know what these are, guys. They're just mysterious white objects, again, like we just saw in Arizona and Mississippi. Now we're seeing mysterious white objects in the sky above Georgia, Greensboro, Georgia. And this was a great observation of some sort of a mysterious object. Looks like a vertical white object that's wrapped in the center with something black. I don't know. I've never seen anything quite like it. They did not appear to be balloons. Balloons you can easily identify. In fact, I want to show you guys a video of a balloon that was sent in by Carlos. This is a balloon. It's actually two balloons. I zoomed in really close on this object, and it's two balloons, one on top of the other, and they're shimmering in the daylight sun. These weren't shimmering, and they're not wobbling. You can easily identify a balloon when you zoom in on it. You can see it's wobbling because they're completely at the mercy of the wind. These things here seem to be flowing with the wind. They're not wobbling in any way. This one here disappears into the clouds first. I'm going to zoom in on the second one, and you're going to be able to get a real good look at this thing. See, that's not a balloon. No way. That's some sort of like a vertical wing or something. They're not wobbling. Balloons wobble, and you can just totally tell it's a balloon. There's no string hanging off the bottom of that thing. Looks like some sort of a wing traveling through the sky. See how they're not shimmering either? Balloons will shimmer and wobble in the wind. That's not doing either. So don't know what that was, but an excellent observation coming out of Greensboro, Georgia. Great job, guys. Really appreciate that. Okay, now we're going to Springfield, Massachusetts. This video was taken by Tiana, and you can tell it kind of caught her by surprise as she's asking her friend. She goes, "You see that, right?" She goes, "You see that, right?" Because this thing looks so unusual. A fiery red object soaring through the daytime sky. And here's a close-up view of this thing that's clearly not an airplane or a helicopter. Here I did some modification work to it, trying to pull forward any possible features, and there were none to pull forward. Some sort of a glowing red object. And again, you hear her ask her friend, "Do you see this?" Because it was so incredibly unusual. I don't know what she saw here, but something fiery red back on May the 12th, obviously during the day. Here's a modified version. Again, I was just trying to pull forward any possible features. It almost looks like two objects that are connected by something smaller that you can't necessarily see. See it right here, what I mean by two objects? See there, there's like a back and a front? I don't know. But wherever it gets that fiery red appearance is even as mysterious as the shape of this thing itself. And that's what caught her by surprise when she looked up and saw this fiery red color in the sky in broad daylight. And she also submitted a photo, which is right there. Look at that thing. Not an airplane, not a helicopter, some sort of a mysterious object falling through the sky above Springfield, Massachusetts. Thanks for the photos and videos, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. And if you guys have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red tab that says Have a Large Video. Simply click on the red tab, drag and drop your video into the red banner. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.